Welcome and thanks for joining me right here on the channel. The solution is you. I hope that you are making the best of your day. I do appreciate each of you just for taking time to come over to the channel. Now, if you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. With that, let me go ahead and start today's content. Now, the topic of today, rebound romance. But before I get into today's topic, I believe that everyone appreciates their privacy. I know I'm a really private person. There's nothing wrong with staying to yourself, and when you stay to yourself, it gives you time to reflect on everything. Most of us are around or surrounded by a lot of noise, so we really don't ever get a chance to really focus on self because we may have a lot of people around us and there's so much going on. And it's just so important to be in a quiet room where you can just focus on your thoughts and things that you have accomplished. But privacy, for me at least, is a priority. I keep to myself. I don't like for, private information to get out, things that I believe that are sacred, getting out and everyone just knowing your business. And I'm sure a lot of us are like this. There are some of you who you don't mind your private information getting out, or people who may be sharing some of your business. There are some of you who are like that, but for me, privacy is very important, and that's based on how I was raised. I was pretty much a person who grew up staying to myself, and so I had a lot of thoughts and things that I would you know, keep internally, and I would process those thoughts, and then I would put my thoughts on paper. So it made me the person I am today, and I'm very appreciative of that. But when it comes to privacy, you may have experienced someone who invaded your privacy. This could have been a nosy neighbor. Now, how many of you are surrounded by nosy neighbors? There's always that one person. It doesn't matter. Let's say you own a home, you could be in an apartment, and each time you come out of your apartment and you're locking your door, you're about to leave, you have that one nosy neighbor that is looking out their window to see what you're doing. How many of you have experienced this situation? If you own a home, you're coming out of your home, maybe you're running out to your car that's sitting just outside the garage, maybe you fumbling through your car looking for something. Then you have a neighbor that comes out on their porch looking to see what you're doing. You could be one of those that have, maybe you got your girl or something coming over, and your girl is dressed all up or whatever, and you got somebody looking out the window. Maybe it's an older guy or something. Maybe he's looking out the window checking your girl out. So I know there's plenty of nosy neighbors that can't wait on the next piece of action to come through. Now, you also may experience your privacy being invaded during an intimate session. So, how many of you have been in your place of residency, and maybe you're in your room and you got your significant other in there? Sometimes how it goes down, you kind of talking to her in a, kind of sexy or something, talking about, you gonna have that ready for me tonight, or you know you can't have that thing out like that. You know what that does to me. And then you open the door and you have one of your relatives just right outside the door listening to everything you're saying. How many of you have been in this situation? Maybe you have like an adult child or something at the house, and they're listening to everything that's going down on the other side of the door. maybe you and your woman are kissing or something, or maybe you're in there getting it on, and then you jump up for a second. Maybe you have to go and grab something out of the next room or something. As soon as you open the door, somebody's playing it off like they're just walking by or something, but you know they were listening in. And if it's really extreme for you, you may be in a situation where you and your woman are at home and you got one of your buddies or something that's staying over. Maybe they're spending the night for whatever reason. Maybe the house caught fire or whatever the situation is. Maybe they're staying with you temporarily. And let's say you and your woman are getting it on that night. And then you two wake up in the morning and you're just gonna go and just make sure everything's good in the living area. You wanna just come out, maybe grab you some coffee or something, and then your buddy is laying on the floor outside of your room door. You know, things get kind of crazy if you can believe that. There's a lot of situations that you wouldn't even imagine, a lot of the things that go on when it comes to people invading your privacy. Now, this also could be a nosy coworker. So there's plenty of nosy coworkers, as I know most of you have probably experienced. So it could be you and a woman and one of your homegirls or something, and you say, did you see what happened to Sabrina? She got fired. And then you have somebody jump up, who got fired? So, you know, there's a lot of people that's all in your business trying to figure out what's going on and who was involved and how it went down. And a lot of times they don't care, you know, who it implicates. You know, they're just going to blast your business and they don't care who they hurt in the process. So again, let me go ahead and get into today's topic, rebound romance. So I'm sure each of us at one point in time in your life has had that special person that you've come across. This is basically the ideal sweetheart situation. So it's that one person, regardless of what your status is now, whether you're married or you have a fiance or you've been with your significant other for a long period of time, or maybe the person you're with right now, you're not too sure about if you're going to be with them for a while. But each of us at some point in our life have been with a person that we could imagine ourselves being with forever. So this may be a person that you've met in high school or college, and this was a person that really caught your eye. Maybe you liked their style, you liked the way they dressed, everything turned you on about this person. Their charisma, their character, the way they walked, the way they talked, the way they smelled, the great love making, everything is on point with this person. It's like you could get along. There was no arguments. This person knew exactly what to say. They knew exactly how to handle the situation. This person may have been an individual that's very funny, or they know how to spin things a certain way and throw it back at you, that really, you know, got your attention and made you just very interested in them. Have any of you, if you just really think back on that particular special person where maybe you haven't seen them in years, and when you see them again, you get those butterflies in your stomach? This is the person that immediately turns you on. This is the person that you're always thinking about, regardless of what situation you're in. Now, obviously, you don't want to be disrespectful to the person that you're currently with, but I believe everybody has that special person that they can reflect on, especially if, even if you with a significant other that you two are planning on getting married, or maybe you're already married. When you're comfortable in your space, there's nothing wrong with sharing old moments as long as nobody's being disrespectful. And that's the great thing about when you have someone that you can really appreciate and that you trust, is that you can share old moments and it doesn't bother or affect any one of you because you know that's just something in the past. But again, when it comes to a rebound romance, this is a person that you've dated in the past, and this is someone that always has a special place in your heart. And so when you see this individual down the road and the situation is right, you try to rekindle what you had based on what you experienced years ago, and it's just not the same. So again, this could be someone that you met in high school or college. This may be someone who you grew up with in the neighborhood, or maybe this is someone that you met in your neighborhood and you two became close and you had a lot of things in common. Maybe you were going out and getting drinks together or just going out and, you know, just enjoying life, going to the park, going to the lake, going out playing tennis, going out and just playing some video games together. And it just seems like you two were the perfect match. How many of you have been in this situation? A person who you believe was the perfect match for you. And usually, this particular person is not the person that you end up marrying. Typically, the person that you end up marrying or the person that you end up in a long-term relationship with is more of a match based on your current circumstances. So maybe based on your maturity level now and uh, the way your lifestyle is now in regards to maybe your business that you're running. It could be the children that you have together, or it may be due to your career paths. Usually it's built on that. But your rebound romance is usually based on the genuine interests that you had together, the great times and moments, the natural attraction, all of that played into this person being the perfect sweetheart for you. Now, this also may have been a random fling. So sometimes you can just be out somewhere, maybe at some conference or seminar, and you meet someone and you exchange numbers, and then things just take off from there. So, regardless of whether this is a high school or college uh, uh, sweetheart, maybe someone you met or grew up with in the neighborhood, or perhaps this is a random fling, and you've been knowing this person for a number of years, and then you lost contact with them, let's say for about maybe 4 or 5 years or so, and then you somehow ran across this person's path again, and you try to hook up and you try to get that moment back that you had, it's never the same. And I know a lot of you understand what I'm talking about. That special guy or that special woman that you met maybe 10 years earlier, and you two had a lot going on, and you had the what you believe to be the perfect match, and maybe you were together for about 5, 6, 7 years or so. It could be just 2 or 3 years. And you had the best of times. I mean, you understood each other. You could go over each other's houses. You're driving each other's car, and uh, just you're romantically involved, and you can just be professionally taking care of business, and you're sharing each other's stuff. Maybe you know each other's family, and everything is wonderful. Everything is great. The romance is great, everything is just perfect. And then you lose touch with this person for about 5, 6, 7 years or so. You see this person again, and if you maybe are not tied to anyone, maybe you get the number and you try to hook back up, and it's just not the same. Maybe you two have different interests. There are different habits and things that you pick up maybe from other people. Maybe you are moving in a different direction based on career paths. Sometimes this person has picked up on bad habits. So maybe this person has started experimenting with drugs or something. And, this could become a big problem. Maybe this person has somewhat changed the way they look at life, and maybe they're not as motivated as they used to be. So when you get in and try to rekindle this romance, things are not the same, and now it's a big turnoff. I know there's a lot of individuals who will leave their current spouse in order to get with an old fling based on the way things were years ago and end up regretting it. You know anybody like this who have left someone that they have built a relationship with? More than likely, this is a person who's married, maybe has kids, and has left their current situation to get back with someone who they knew maybe 10 years ago, thinking that they're going to have the same level of access or the same level of intimacy with this person who is now or is a rebound romance. Always appreciate the person that you're with. The grass is not always greener, especially based on a situation from years ago. Most times when you give up what you have today to go back to something of yesterday, you end up regretting it, and you will end up losing all that you've worked hard for. I thank you for listening to me today. Please understand that the solution is you. With that, have a great day.